Hello everyone, my name is Hippolyte Asah and welcome back. In the first video, we answered the question, what is ChatGPT? In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to actually use ChatGPT. This is where we move from explanation to practice. So in this video, I'll be sharing my screen and walking you through how to open ChatGPT, how to start a conversation, how to ask questions, how to improve your answers, how to create a new chat, and how to use some of the basic features inside the ChatGPT interface. By the end of this lesson, you should feel comfortable opening ChatGPT and having your first real conversation with it. So, opening ChatGPT. Open your browser, right? The first step is open your web browser. This can be Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Safari, Firefox, or any browser you normally use, right? Type chatgpt.com. As you can see here, type chatgpt.com, and then it's going to open your browser for you. Then press enter. Once you press enter, it will take you to the ChatGPT website, right? Depending on whether you are already logged in or not, or you are seeing a screen or not, you would see, you'll be asking you to log in, right? It will tell you to log in. So if you say ChatGPT, you ask you log in, it pop up issues you may have here, sign up, log in, and you have options here about login. So you may even use ChatGPT even without logging in, right? So it takes you to the first browser. If you are brand new, you can start by clicking on sign up for free. You may also see an option to continue with your email or Google account, Apple account, Microsoft account, or depending on whatever thing it is. For this beginner lesson, I recommend creating a free account because when you sign in, ChatGPT can start saving your conversation. It keeps your history and make it easier for you to continue from where you left off. So let's start. Once you are inside ChatGPT, you will see a message box, right? You see a message box. This message box, this is where your conversation begins. The message box is where you type your question, instructions, or requests. In ChatGPT, we call that a prompt. A prompt is simply what you ask ChatGPT to do. For example, plan my test. So if you say plan my test, for example, here, you could say, plan my test, plan a relaxing Saturday for me that includes reading, light exercise, and time outside, right? And on the screen, type the prompt. And once you type this prompt, you can press enter. You can type this prompt. You don't necessarily have to put inverted, just commas. You just type it exactly like that without anything, right? Type the prompt, and then once you press enter now, once you click on enter, ChatGPT will start generating a response, right? And you see that it's thinking and making writings, right? So you start thinking and making writings and so on. And ChatGPT will start generating all this response. You will see it thinking and writing all this. You keep talking to it, give it more details, correct it, or ask it more questions. So you see that. So you say, okay, this is good. You say this is good, and you say, please add 10 minutes. This is good, but please add 10 minutes of stretching in the morning, right? Now, ChatGPT starts telling you things, explaining to you everything. And you see, it updates the response. It did not start all over. It simply gave ChatGPT more information. That is how you should think about using ChatGPT. It is not just one question and one answer. Yeah? It's an ongoing conversation. The more context you give, the better the response becomes. For example, give me a meal plan for it. As you type it, that is okay, but it's very general. A better prompt would be, let's say give me a meal plan. A better prompt would be something you want to give it more detail. You want to give it some more context, right? Like you say, this is good, but please add, okay. So we had this one there. So we're going to say, give me a meal plan. But now you say, give me a meal plan, but please add, okay. You say, give me a meal plan. That's the first thing you say, give me a meal plan. And then you want to add more context to it, right? So once you say, give me a meal plan, and then you look at it, you say, okay, you know what, let's update the meal plan. You say, Give me a single 5-day meal plan for a busy professional. I prefer affordable meals. I do not want anything complicated, and I want meals I can prepare in less than 30 minutes, right? Give it a meal plan. It's going to update that meal plan for you. It's going to do that for you. So that's a better prompt. The second prompt gives ChatGPT more duration. The better your instruction, the better the answer, right? You see how it gives you a 10-day meal plan. It gives you that instruction, right? And that's better instruction. Now, so let's understand the interface first, right? Let's take a quick look at the interface. The main box at the bottom is where you type your message, right? You type your messages here. That's the main box. You type your messages here. That's the main box. You ask questions, you give it instructions, you upload files, and you start a new task. Depending on your version of ChatGPT, your plan, you may also see options for voice. So you have voice here, you have video, you have file upload, so you could easily upload files as well, depending on photos, versions here. And then do not worry if your screen looks slightly different from mine, right? ChatGPT changes over time. So every now and then it changes. So if you are watching this video later, there might have been a change in the window. So do not worry, it changes, it adjusts. Plus open plan, there are plus plans, there are free plans, there are pro plans, there are team plans or organizational account. The most important thing is the message box, right? The message box that is here. That is the most important part. That is where everything starts. So asking ChatGPT to create maybe a business plan. Now, let's do a practical example, right? I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create a simple business plan for a local donut shop. Create a simple business plan for a local donut shop. That's one. Then I press enter here. And then now ChatGPT is creating a basic business plan. You can see it may include sections like executive summary, business descriptions, products, target, shop will sell, secondary customers. That's just a basic, right? You can see it may include some of these things: competitive advantage, product pricing, and everything. This market plan, local marketing, customer, all these are operational plans. It gives you a basic business plan, right? This is already useful, but the prompt is too general, right? So if, let's say, want to improve it, want to make it better, right? Want to give it to be more specific, right? So I'm going to say, let's improve it. Make the business plan specific to a local donut shop in Toronto, Canada. Focus on young professionals, students, and office workers, right? And I press enter here, right? So now ChatGPT gives me more specific answers because I added location, audience, business context. This is the key lesson. ChatGPT performs better when you give it details. You can give it details like location, audience, right? You give it students, age, audience. You give it office workers and things like product types, right? The goal, the tone, the budget, your time limit, and things like that. Gives you more details. Preferred format. The more useful context you provide, the more useful the response becomes, right? So it gives you a detailed plan, competitive pricing, market size. So the more detail you give it, the better it is, right? So sometimes you may ask Chat question and then realize the prompt was not specific enough. That is very normal, right? You can always change the prompt. You can either ask a follow-up question, or depending on your interface, you may be able to edit your previous message, right? However, you can hover near your previous message and show edit, right? So if, let's say, you go back to your message here, you go to your message here, there may be options for editing your message. So this one, we don't have the option here to edit. We could copy the message. Because we are on a few plans, you can hover over here and then you edit. You could edit your plan, right? So we're in a free plan. We need to log in, edit to have more options once we log in. So let's say, okay, one of the best ways to use ChatGPT is to ask a follow-up questions, right? For example, after ChatGPT creates a business plan, I can ask, turn this into a 30-second elevator pitch. So I can say, turn it to a pitch, or create a list of startup costs, or make the plan more realistic for someone starting with a small budget, right? You ask the follow-up questions like, and then, or you could say, create a social media marketing plan for the first 30 days. This is where ChatGPT becomes very, very powerful. You can take one answer and keep improving it. You can ask it to make the answer shorter, longer, simpler, more professional, more friendly, right? So more details, more practical. You could write this in a simple language for beginners. So make this sound more professional, put this into a table. Give me the top 5 actions, 5 steps. You could say this is how you turn a basic answer into something very, very useful. You see, you could get that. It's a Toronto Donut Shop business plan, business idea, things like that. Let's say you have a small budget and you want to improve upon it. Say, make this plan more realistic for someone starting with a small budget. Maybe you want to start with a small budget. You improve the plan. Small budget Toronto Donut business plan. You see, I want to start a small budget business in Toronto that sells fresh homemade donuts and coffee instead of opening a full storefront right away. So it gives you that opportunity to improve upon it, right? Some of the things that you may realize is that now let's say I am finished with the business plan and I want to start something completely different, right? Let's say I want to start something completely different. So on the left side of the screen, where near the top, depending on your screen, you should see an option to start a new chat. So here, you could see an option to start a new chat right here on the left side, and then you could click on new chat. This opens a fresh conversation. Let's say click on this, open a new conversation. Because we didn't log in, it's going to clear this chat. If we log in, it's going to store the chat for us. So if we log in, this chat is going to stay. If we don't log in, it's going to clear it. So let's assume that we didn't log in. We're going to clear this chat now. Start again. This is a fresh new chat that's forgotten everything. It has not stored what we kept. So the new chat is useful when you want to start a new topic, right? You don't want to mix the topics together. So when you want to start, for example, one chat can be about a business plan, another chat can be about your resume, another chat can be about your YouTube script, another chat can be about maybe learning Excel. Keeping different topics in different chats helps you stay organized. So, right? So on the left side of the screen, as you could see, on the left side of the screen, you may see your previous conversations. Again, because we didn't log in, our previous conversations are now here. Free. Now, we log in now, we start a new chat, right? Let's say we had a business plan and we have our business plan that we had created, and then we have that conversation. Let's say we say create a simple business plan for us, right? I'm going to have this chat here. We said create a simple business plan for us here. That's created this plan, and we've had a discussion with it. We have follow-up questions. Say make this follow-up. Now, after I finish with this topic, we feel like, okay, we need to go to start a new conversation. We don't have to start a new conversation for something totally different, a new topic. We don't want to keep this topic together. We say, you know what, we go to the side here. We're going to see a new chat. Say, you see it has different options here based on what we've created. So you could say new chat. And these are all historical charts that I've created based on different things. You could go to your old chart because we had logged in before. So you see more information. We're going to talk about more of this. But again, it tells you more about, you start a new chart, you go back to where all your chart history has been here. It helps you with different organizations, different options that you create. So so you start a new chart, new information, and you start a new history. So let's say on the left side bar, we've seen that each conversation has a title. You see donut shop, other topics that may be useful to different people that you've logged in before and you've worked on it, right? This is very helpful because you can come back later and continue the conversation. Let's say after some time, you feel like, oh, there's a topic that you wanted to work on, and then you come here, you click, look for it. You say, oh, this topic, I was working on it. Let me click on it and continue. Then you simply just click on a topic of some specific topic that you wanted to continue. Let's say this topic was about installing a specific application, set the steps. I can simply continue on this topic. So this is very useful, right? So if we're here, we can come back and continue to our donut shop. So you could come back, continue with your previous topics. Let's say you can also rename a conversation so it's easier to find. Let's say you come back here and you say, oh, maybe this is a business plan and you want to just rename it to something else. You can rename it to just business plan. That way you know, you could rename it to something that you remember, right? You rename it that way. If I come back, I can really remember that, okay, this was a plan that I remember. Maybe you want to rename it to be more specific. You see Toronto business plan, right? You have that named for that plan and you have it there. So another powerful feature in ChatGPT is the ability to work with files, right? This is something we've not mentioned. On the screen, right, you point to upload attachment or button. So if you come here, you click here, you could actually upload files. You could upload files, PDF files, documents, spreadsheets, any documents, right? For example, you can upload a resume. You ask it to improve the resume, right? Let's say I come here and I can upload a resume, go to maybe a more recent file that I had. Let's see if I have, and I say, okay, my resume, maybe here, and go, let's see what I have, maybe my resume as a platform engineer, and I can click on it and I open it here, and then I upload it, right? Okay, let's start a new chat because it's a new chat. I upload it here, it's here. I said improve, I can say, I could now ask it to improve my resume, make it look different. So I can say upload, I could say improve resume sample, to just see it like that, or enhance it for that. That's a prompt. So it's going to upload my resume, give me prompts, give me ideas, working with these tools and working my resume, and it's actually improving my resume. So you could upload any document, right, that you want. You could analyze data. You could summarize data. So you could analyze this data. You can upload a PDF and ask it specific questions. You can summarize this document in plain English. Let's say I have a document here and I upload a file, and I said, I'll look at the file, for example. This is a file here. This is our production system. So let me take a new chapter here. And I said, analyze and summarize, analyze. So it's going to analyze this. So this is very useful for work. It's very useful. So it analyzes the document. It's infrastructure document, analyzes it, and then helps you understand it. But again, it's very important. Do not upload sensitive information unless you understand your organization's data. So if you're working, please don't upload sensitive information and policies. ChatGPT's privacy settings. If you are using ChatGPT at work, check your company's rules before uploading their documents. You don't want to upload their documents here. So ChatGPT can also help with images and screenshots. So you could create your image right there. So if you can upload a screenshot of an error message, right, you could upload it here and ask it to analyze the error, right? So you could either upload the image here. You can upload a diagram and you ask it, what does this architecture show? You can also upload a photo of a handwritten notes and ask, convert this note into a clean type note, right? So somebody writes a note, you upload it, it's going to change it, right? So this is very helpful because ChatGPT is not limited to only text. It can help you understand visual information. So it helps you with visual information, right? So you could create images. So you could come here, you create an image with ChatGPT. So depending on your version and available tools, GPT can also help you create images. So let's try a simple image, right? So create a clean, let's do something very, very simple, right? And see. So we want to create an image. I probably want to do a logo here. So say, change it to image, and then we use this prompt. Create clean logo concept for a small bakery called Fresh Morning Bakery. Use warm, simple, and modern style. So once we give you this prompt, ChatGPT may generate an image or help you write a better image prompt, depending on tools available. So let's say ChatGPT may generate that image, right? And it can also help you create a prompt for an image, right? So this prompt we just gave, create a clean logo concept for a small bakery called Fresh Morning Bakery, a warm and simple modern style. So it created this one, Fresh and Modern Bakery. It helps you. So ChatGPT, so this is very, very useful for brainstorming, right? So for brainstorming, you can use it to create ideas for logos, posters, thumbnails, illustrations, product concepts, and social media visuals. Perfect, right? So AI generation are improving, right? So every day they are getting better. So this time next year, you're going to get something better. So if the image contains words, always check the spelling carefully. So Another aspect of ChatGPT is the voice, right? Some versions of ChatGPT also support voice on screen. So they point to microphone. You have a microphone here, so we spoke about this. So you could either point to the microphone and you record, right? So voice can be useful when you are brainstorming. Like, I want to create a short business. Let me brainstorming on ideas on starting a business. What are some of the best ideas? Some of the things I can do to start a business. So it gives you ideas on how to generate prompts, right? Generate maybe a business, or so it gives you the ideas on what you need to do. So, so another thing that ChatGPT can do is that before it helps you with ideas, marketing ideas, and things like that. So it can create beginner-friendly study plans. It can put in a table. It tells you what to do. So now, before we finish, let me mention a few mistakes beginners should avoid, right? Do not assume ChatGPT is always correct. ChatGPT can make mistakes. So if the information is important, always verify it. Do not give vague prompts and expect perfect answers. For example, instead of saying, help me with my business, you could say, give me 10 marketing ideas for a small cleaning business in Toronto with a budget of $300 per month. Do not upload confidential information, company data, unless you are allowed to do. And do not treat ChatGPT as a replacement for professional advice, right? In serious areas like legal, medical, financial, or safety-related decisions. Use it as a helper, not as a final authority, right? So before we move to the next lesson, I want you to try this simple exercise, right? And open ChatGPT and ask it this. Help me create a weekly productivity plan. Ask me 3 questions first before giving the final plan. This is great beginner prompt because it teaches ChatGPT to ask you for more information before giving an answer. Then answer the questions and see how the final plan becomes more personalized, right? That is the power of conversation. So before it even creates a plan, let it ask you 3 questions for clarification. So let's summarize what we covered in this lesson. To use ChatGPT, go to ChatGPT. You can create a free account or login. Once you are inside, type your questions or instructions in the message box right here. The instruction is called a prompt. So that's a prompt. Create a prompt right here. You ask ChatGPT to write, summarize, explain, and brainstorm, analyze, translate, or organize, create, or help you learn, right? You can ask follow-up questions to improve the answer. You can create new charts for different topics. You have a new chart for different topics. You can return to previous conversations using your chat history. So you could go to your chat history here. You see your conversations. Depending on your account and available tools, you can also upload files, analyze documents, work with images, use voice, and generate images. The most important lesson is this. Do not think of ChatGPT as a one-time search box. Think of it as a conversation. Start with a question, review the answer, give feedback, keep improving the results. That is how you get real value from ChatGPT. In the next video, we'll go deeper into how to write better prompts. You can get clearer, more accurate, and more useful answers. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson.